Good afternoon to all our fans and friends. This is Michael Virardi. It's Ask Virardi time. We're live streaming here from Regius Central offices. So thank you very much to Regius for giving us the space here. And my guest today is a personal friend and a man that I admire, Yiannis Misirlis. Yiannis, welcome.
Thank you, Michael. I was actually wondering when you were going to invite me to feature in one of your episodes. We've been friends for so many years, and it's the 114th episode.
Yes.
Better late than never, huh?
Is that a complaint, or are you happy that you're here?
Extremely happy.
Extremely. You have a way with things. Before I go on and introduce Yiannis again and talk about the present he's giving out today in his company and talking about Imperio, let me say that our winner from episode 113 was Christina Hileos, and Christina Hileos has won a beautiful present. She was present at our Address for Success Speaking in Public How to Win Over an Audience workshop. It was offered by Alexis Onofriou, and Christina, congratulations and thank you very much for being there. So my dear friends, now I'm turning to my guest, Yiannis Misirlis. Yiannis Misirlis is the director of Imperio, and before I explain what Imperio does, let me ask Yiannis to explain to you what Imperio does.
Okay, so again, thank you very much. Imperio is one of the leading property groups of Limassol. We've been out on the market for almost 14 years now. And I think the biggest characteristic of what we do is that we manage to differentiate in terms of high design and high quality properties, both residential and commercial. We also manage to maintain a very personal approach with all of our clients.
That's true, and the reason Yiannis is here is also because Imperio has managed to navigate the Cyprus crisis very well, and we would like to pick your brains on what you've done, what the future holds, not only for Imperio, but for most businesses who are able to differentiate themselves. Good afternoon from Evis Zenios to both of you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Evi.
And let's start with our first question of the day. You are more than free to send your questions in. And anyone who shares this episode not only wins this bag of goodies from Imperio. And Yanni, can you tell us what's in this bag, please?
There is a table charm, our lucky butterfly. There is an Imperio power bank to keep you to keep your iPhones charged at all times.
And yourselves connected.
And yourselves connected, true. And there is a lucky Imperio keyring.
Excellent. And you will be able to receive this present on a Friday at Imperio's offices, because at Imperio offices on Friday, they have beautiful outside catering, delicious outside catering, which I have just tasted. Thank
Correct.
you very much.
Pleasure.
And the winner will be able to have a tour at Imperio, meet the team, and have lunch with the team as well. Is that true?
Absolutely, yes. We'll be waiting for the winner to join us for lunch at, I don't know, Friday next week probably.
I think this is the first time we had 33 people live at such an early stage.
Fantastic.
We are either must be doing something good. Stathis, who asked the first question, says good afternoon. Good afternoon, Stathis.
Good afternoon, Stathis.
So we will answer Stathis' question. He has two questions. Yiannis, is there a formula for success? Stathis is asking.
Stathis, thank you for the question. Very good one. I don't know if there is a secret formula. I definitely know that there are no shortcuts to success.
Wow.
You have to love what you do, you need to work hard, and you have to have clear objectives in order to achieve them. As in every different kind of business, there is a certain need for market knowledge. In our business, in real estate, you need to be able to understand market cycles because you cannot avoid them. And you need to be able to handle the downturn, the difficult times, because the good times handle themselves.
Wow. Well,
you also need to have a very good capital structure to make sure that when the bad times come, you can stay alive.
It's what we call reserves.
Yeah, possibly.
What we call reserves. So, excellent reply, and I love your answer. So let me stick to something that you've said so we can go to the second question, which comes from the same person, Stathis. You said that you have to understand the market cycles. So Stathis' second question is, when there is a crisis, like the crisis that Cyprus has gone through or is going through, do the cycles change, and does the formula change?
Well, the formula, you're thinking about the formula to success.
To formula to success, if there is a formula.
Your strategy and your tactics must change not only during times of crisis or during difficult times, but they must constantly adapt to market conditions. So, for example, what we do at Imperio, we follow the global real estate trends. We study very carefully what our international competitors do in order to become better and better at what we do. And by that, we understand the global trends, we understand the market cycles, and we protect ourselves.
So you don't only look at the microcosm, you look at the macrocosm outside as well and
Absolutely.
See the trends.
Yes.
This question wasn't in, but it just came, and I think I should answer it now. Good afternoon, Zoe Vribidu. And Zoe Vribidu is asking the following. How important is luck in your business?
Well, a little bit of luck is always good, but whoever has mastered the game should know that it's not Lady Luck who calls success. It's rather the intelligence and the ability of the businessman to understand the cycles and reduce the risk. And in our industry, in real estate, you always need to have more than one exit routes for each investment.
I guess it's true. Excellent. Well said. Second question comes from Glafkos Orphanos. And Glafkos Orphanos is asking the following. Maybe this is more specific to your industry, but we have the question, we have to ask the question. Are Chinese property investors here to stay, or are they just a passing fad, Yiannis?
Thank you, Glafkos. Well, Chinese investors are buying properties all over the world in increasing numbers, and there is no signs of this trend changing. They're buying properties in countries where they have business interests, like the Russians do with Cyprus. They buy properties for education for their children in global destinations, or they buy properties in destinations where they can gain access to residency and passport. I think it's very important for Cyprus to understand the huge potential of the Chinese market, and we need to treat these people in a very respectable way. There is a lot of investment coming into real estate for other reasons as well, geopolitical reasons. We must never forget all the instability around the world. There are many locations where, for political or other reasons, they are not very stable, and people would like to invest in more stable destinations. Cyprus is perceived to be a very reputable destination for such investments. Also, real estate is one of the asset classes that still today has a very decent return. We're looking at an economy with ultra low interest rates. So for these reasons, all of these reasons, I think we should expect to see more Chinese investors to Cyprus, maybe more, Malaysian investors into Switzerland, maybe more Egyptians into Miami, and definitely the whole world into London and New York.
I like the way you justify your replies and you bring stats, stories, figures, and the secret behind all of this. I think you mentioned it, but I have to mention it as well, is to know your topic. And
I learned from the best.
Thank you. I will give you the 50 euros we agreed later on. Thank you very much. Saskia Konstantinou, who's one of my mentees, is asking a question. Just Antigone Pieri, I will revert back to your question in a while. Saskia Konstantinou, who's one of my mentees, is asking the following. Do you change your marketing strategy in a crisis? And if yes, how? It's relevant to the first question, to the second question, but still, Saskia wants to know if you change your strategy in a crisis and how.
As I said, the milestone is not a crisis. You should always adapt your strategy. At Imperio, we have a corporate theory of creating high quality, high design buildings, and we target clients who want to live in these buildings, not only in the good times but also in the bad times. If you create low quality structures, you will attract low quality clients, and at difficult times these inquiries from these clients will disappear overnight. I think the recent experience in our country has shown that in difficult times, people go towards high quality buildings. So if you follow the global trends and you adjust your strategy very often, then you will remain afloat.
And if you don't, you won't. And then you have a crisis on your head, double crisis. Evisenius, I will revert back to you about your non-performing loans in a while. Maya Cleopas is asking the following question. Yiannis, you once said you travel a lot. I don't know if you said it in an interview, but Maya knows quite well to make the statement.
It was an interview.
It was an interview. How do you manage to keep, if you manage to keep, because we don't know your work-life balance?
Well,
I like this. Yes.
Yeah, it's challenging. First of all, I love what I do. And in my everyday life, I surround myself with people who I love and who love me. So when you have this, what do you need balance for? Having said that, it's true that I travel a lot, sometimes more than I would like to. And traveling a lot is painful on the family. So what I try to do is, when I don't travel, I try to spend as much time as possible with the people I love, with Ino and our two boys, Yorgos and Nikos, and we try to do many things together.
And you do. And that's true. I can vouch for it. So in other words, you just said, love what you do and have a considerate family.
Absolutely.
So we're going to our last question that has been sent in to us, and then we go to our live questions.
Yes.
It comes from Panagiotis Pkeri. Panagiotis Pkeri is a social media sensation. So this question might sound a bit progressive, but I hope you will be able to answer it. Yiannis, are you using innovative marketing techniques like augmented reality, virtual reality tours, artificial intelligence data analysis, or chatbot marketing at Imperio Marketing Mix, in the Imperio Marketing Mix?
Good question, Panagiotis, thank you very much. At Imperio, we're front runners in innovative marketing techniques. May I just mention that we were probably the first real estate group that created an iPhone and Android application back in 2010.
Wow.
So we try to give tools to the property buyers in order to perform searches and understand our properties. With regards to the specific items you mentioned, unfortunately, augmented reality and artificial intelligence data analysis and chatbots are not so popular with property buyers who buy properties in Cyprus. With regards to virtual reality, we are working on something right now. I hope we will be in a position to announce something later this year.
Yes, and Panagiotis, you are always free to give Yiannis a call and tell him what you have in mind. He is a great listener, open-minded, and that's the reason that Imperio for the last 14 years are going strong. One of the reasons.
Yes, and we have a very capable team who is also hungry for more food for thought. So if there is an opportunity for cooperation, absolutely, please knock on our door.
And don't forget where that cooperation happened, Panagiotis. Let me ask, before I come to some of the questions that are sending in, let me ask what Antigoni Pkeri has asked earlier. And Antigoni is saying, I think it's going to be an easy question for you, but it's also going to be hard at the same time. It's not in there.
Which question?
Antigoni, just send it now. Just send it now.
Okay.
Dear Yiannis, is location the most important thing in real estate?
Well, I think this comes from the mantra of location, location, location.
Yes.
I think this location mantra is probably overplayed, because from recent experience in our country, developers very often forget to apply common sense when they are about to acquire a plot. They very often overpay or over leverage when they find a good location, and before they even become the new owners of a plot, they are facing an unfair battle. I think at Imperio we treat this mantra as old thinking. The three most important words in real estate today is timing, timing, timing. If you have reasonable financing terms, if you have a product with the appropriate characteristics and you take it out on the market, then I believe you have a winning combination.
Excellent. So location, location, location has turned to timing, timing, timing.
Correct.
Well said. Let me go to the question of Eviseños, because if I don't go into it, he's going to be start sending messages in. He's talking about non-performing loans, and he's asked if they have created a huge competitor to all of you, that is the Bank of Cyprus. Are you worried that soon the market will be flooded with amazing deals from real estate arms of our banks? Do you think you'll have a competitor from the banks because of all these?
Well, first of all, the banks are not behaving as developers. Probably so we don't consider them to be competitors. Probably what Evis is referring to is the fact that probably Bank of Cyprus, more than anyone else.
That's the one he mentions.
Yes, is looking to offload some of these opportunities, but don't forget that this is not competing product to the developers. These are not brand new high quality apartments or houses. We're probably looking at I don't know, 30-year-old apartments somewhere that international property buyers are not investing, or we're looking at I don't know, 10,000 square meters of land somewhere on a hill outside Limassol, or maybe not even on a hill. So it's not direct competition to us, and also it's to the best interest of the bank not to offload all these properties at the same time, because if this move affects property valuation, then it will affect the Bank of Cyprus portfolio as well.
Correct. Very well said. This is not a question, it's a statement by one of my mentees, one of the people who have come to my mentoring sessions, is Konstantinos Ilias, and he says, Michael, 2 years ago we had a discussion regarding Mr. Misirlis. If you remember well in our sessions, you were my example, positive example.
Wow.
So thank you for reminding me that it's Konstantinos Ilias. Konstantinos Ilias is Ilikos' son.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you know Ilikos, correct?
Yes.
Hello,
Konstantinos.
Hello, Konstantinos. Michael Karasavas, I left your question last because I think we should close with this question, plus any message that Yiannis would like to hand out. Just to remind you, if you share this episode, you not only get a chance to win the goodies that are in this bag that we have mentioned earlier, but you get a chance to have lunch at Imperio on any upcoming Friday and meet the team and have a tour there and increase your network, because as the saying goes, your network will determine your net worth at the end of the day. So I leave Michael Karasavas' question as last because I liked it very much. Dear Yiannis, what is one piece of advice you would offer to property investors for 2017?
For 2017? Well, as I said, the art is to look for destinations that serve your purpose. We're talking about international property investors,
yes.
So Cyprus has all the natural characteristics that we know. It has a very friendly environment, friendly people, good cuisine. It has all the advantages that we Cypriots know, and the professionals in our industry travel the globe literally to educate international property investors about what we offer here. All of these advantages are coupled with two fantastic immigration schemes and a low tax jurisdiction. So I think the island is a winning combination. So international property investors should have a look at what Cyprus offers, and I think many of them will like it, and this is what the numbers show.
That's true, very true. Let me recap before I give you the last word. Yiannis Misirlis, who has been here, the director of Imperio, told us that there is no shortcut to success, dear friends. He said that work hard is one of the ingredients, but you also need to have market knowledge so you can understand the cycles. Sometimes during a crisis, the cycles change, but if you look at global trends, you have a global vision and you can foresee what might be coming. He also said that Lady Luck does not call the shots. The shots are being called by all the pillars that I mentioned earlier. We should understand the potential of the Chinese market because it's huge, But if there is a future for the Chinese in Cyprus, it's the way we treat them. We should treat them in a respectable way, like we treat any other customer, irrespective of nationality. Yiannis also talked about low quality structures for low quality clients. When a crisis hits or when difficult times come, people become more concerned with quality products, so we should aim for quality and improve our service. He also talked about, when he talked about work-life balance, he told us in a way that it's not work-life balance, it's work-life fit. Life should fit in your work and work should fit in your life, and you should have people who love you, understand you, are compassionate and want you to do well, because it's a win-win for the whole family. And last but not least, Yiannis said that they were front runners in terms of technology, but they always have their ears open. So Panagiotis Keri, you're more than happy to call them and exchange an idea or two. And location has been turning to timing. For all the reasons, you can revert back and listen to our episode and find out why. So I'm closing this episode by giving a chance to Yiannis to say last message to our fans and friends here at the Ask Virardi show.
Thank you again for giving me this opportunity, Michael. It's very simple. I think it's the market knowledge. You need to become an expert to what you do, and you have to stay restless. You have to keep trying. Don't ever allow anyone to tell you that there is something you cannot achieve. Stay restless, because when you rest, you rust.
Wow, I love this. When you rest, you rust. Your team from Imperio says hello, and Peter Gunning, also, who was the person in charge at the speech I gave recently in Austria, he says thank you to both. So it's good that people from all around the globe are looking for it.
Fantastic.
So, my dear friends, we should do it more often. When you rest, you rust. So don't rest. And as Gary Vaynerchuk says, hustle. Thank you very much, and have a lovely afternoon. Take good care. Thank you.